I had a big problem with the dozen last night.
What was that?
Huge off the top of the show.
Oh, I know exactly what it was. And not even just because we were at in the show, it reminded me, but that's a big problem.
Huge problem.
Wait,
The Vic Theater might be on the banned list. The show has started.
The show is Redline Radio has officially started. This is a podcast. We are live in studio.
You're gonna understand once you.
Why is the Vic not on your ban list, Dave? Chief?
The Vic should be on your ban list.
Look at you two guys.
I am insanely confused about it.
Thick as thieves.
Think about where we're at. What do we do off the top
Miller
of the show?
Lite.
Yes.
They didn't serve Miller Lite.
Yes.
Correct.
Banned.
So guess what?
Banned.
Banned.
They're banned.
I don't know if they didn't sell it or if they were out.
No.
They got a different partnership.
Oh.
So guess how much beer I had last night?
Zero.
Zero.
I know.
I would rather die of thirst and starvation before drinking any other swill other than Miller Lite.
What they had was swill. It was one of those nights where it's like we're in Chicago. It's right down the street from the office. I was like, all I need to complete this night is a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite with that white can. Couldn't get it.
Was truly the only blemish on the night.
Yeah.
Well, there were more blemishes, but I mean, but whatever. It sucked, but Dave, say it one more time.
It stunk.
No, say it.
Banned. Is that what you're looking
Banned.
for?
Yes, thank you. That's exactly what I'm looking
Okay.
for.
You guys threw me through a loop there. I got a question real quick. What happened? Are Frank and Tony still on vacation?
They're on vacation. Yeah.
They're still on vacation. When do they get
They're on
back?
sabbatical at this point.
They're on,
sabbatical?
well, Tony got a new knee, and
Is that so?
yeah, he got a new knee.
His knee?
Yeah, he got a new knee. And
wobbly.
Frankie, he's got the flip phone and
Hard
It's
to get
been
a
a
hold of.
tough couple,
Yeah.
and especially with the restrictions coming loose,
Yeah.
these guys are really
exactly. So they're
no mandates.
yes, they've been long trips in the van. So, well, whatever. They'll be back at some point.
Hey, great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Go get some. Go do. Where can they go get?
Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/redline to find the delivery options near you. Or you could pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
This is a big night for delivery too. We got the Bulls game tonight. It's a Wednesday. I feel like this is
double
not,
header.
This is
For the White Sox.
a double header for the White Sox, but I feel like this is.
Thank you, David.
It's a Wednesday night.
Oh.
It's a yeah.
Well, time out. So then we'll start the show with that. Is that okay? So White Sox Dave is telling
House problems.
He's got to run out of here. He's having problems, which is it's interesting to handle because that's honestly
I
like
showed you the picture, correct?
you did. That's like the biggest fear of
Dude.
purchasing because that's your problem now. But
So-
now that I hear that there's a White Sox double header, I might think that might be a staged photo.
That he took a
No.
sledgehammer to his hotel.
I can throw the game on. I got something going at 3 p.m. today. We do have, and I forgot that when I got this guy here. So I'm going out of town this weekend, turkey hunt with Chief in Sydney. I couldn't get this guy in. It was 3 o'clock today or nothing. And so if you haven't gone through the home buying process yet, you go through a home inspection. If you don't, you're a moron because homes have
you legally,
issues.
have
yeah, I
to.
think you have to.
You have to.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to.
But you were smart to do it anyway. So.
I was told you should probably do that. It costs like $600-700, and they basically tell you buy this place or don't buy it because it's got hidden issues or not hidden issues. Blah blah blah.
I paid $400 for it.
Whatever it is, it's a couple hundred. It's not too expensive. But first house I bought failed the inspection, so I got all the earnest money and shit back. Fast forward to the new house that I own. It was primo condition. And when I took my first shower in it the day I moved in, I noticed that the bathtub had some give to it. Like it was flexible. I'm like, that doesn't feel right. And I remember making the comment to you, like, I don't trust this thing. I'm taking a shower today and my foot literally went through my bathtub.
Were
Water
you just
was
standing there and it just collapsed?
It just went underneath me. And go ahead and make all the fat jokes you want. It was so I sent the picture to my realtor. I sent it to.
Were you scared when it happened?
It freaked me out, but it was.
Did you get cut up on your
Can we
leg? at all?
post the picture? Can you
Yeah,
send it to Tom?
I'll get it.
He'll
I'll get it
splice
to them.
in.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would have went through the floor.
So I had to deal with the people underneath me because the water was running and the water went through the hole. I had to deal with the people above me because chances are that the people who built the house used the same bathtub for all 3 units in the building. So it's just been a nightmare all morning, and I have a contractor coming over at 3 p.m. today to basically tell me I gotta pay thousands of dollars to get it fixed.
Dude,
tell me.
your
Or run through
insurance
insurance.
agent's working overtime, man.
Yeah, it sucks.
Just claim
It
after
sucks.
claim after claim.
You know what, too, is he's going to piss off those people like in other way, shape, or form for sure. He didn't need.
Why would you say that?
Well, I mean,
He's a
you're-
man of solitude, Ed.
I am quiet as a mouse. when
Yeah,
I'm
you're a little heavy on the feet, though. You pound.
I walk on my tiptoes.
He walks in dress shoes.
I walk
So
on my tiptoes.
you do?
I do.
I don't know. I figured you're a little loud.
I'm not.
You know, especially, you know,
I'm not.
Now that's
do got
something
the
in my
dog
house that
clicking around,
really
though.
gets
Get on back
gets us
there,
going, 'cause
Liam.
We
You know
have-
what I mean?
We live on the 3rd floor, and Mrs. Carl walks like she's in fucking.
I think that's a woman thing.
I walk on I walk on the balls of my feet, and I'm like, no,
so
our
do I.
neighbors are gonna be mad. I got a firefighter living below me. This guy probably hates my guts. Thinks I'm walking around like a fucking lumberjack carrying axe.
It's your wife?
Not. It's Mrs. Carl.
My
Yeah.
mom and my sisters walk like Clydesdales through the house, and I swear to God, it is a woman thing. Call me sexist. Women, they walk bad.
They walk bad.
They walk bad.
Yeah. On their heel, like you're talking like a scout. Yeah, like they walk on. I mean, I can only speak in my own personal experience, but yeah, it's loud. It's very loud.
I got-
bro, I'm
I got
telling
heavy
you,
feet.
most people walk louder than
Wait,
you
you
think.
said light or
though.
quiet?
I got heavy feet.
I walk on my tiptoes.
Maybe it's a hockey thing. She doesn't skate
Maybe.
though.
I just
about
got
you?
fucking tree trunk legs and ankles. I just feel like I'm not
You got that.
particularly graceful.
Fat ass.
Yeah, I got a thick lower half for sure.
Eddie's light on us. You're light on your toes.
I wouldn't say so.
Okay, I
Only
think you
at the-
move pretty.
At the Joffrey, I was feeling good that day.
What
That's my only
about,
visual evidence? But I think
Would you do another dance video?
Would you do another photo shoot?
that was actually kind of sick.
What?
The photo shoot.
Yeah, it was.
The photo shoot,
Yeah, it was.
I feel like
Yeah.
we should
Yeah,
cut
let's
this and
just-
it'd be cooler if it just pops
Yeah,
up.
bleep that out,
Bleep
Tom.
that out.
Okay.
sorry.
But we
Alright.
did a
Cut this whole part.
The people know we did a photo shoot.
Yeah, the
and
people know we did a photo shoot.
It was pretty fucking awesome.
Dude, I've
It was
never
funny.
seen Dave like besides
Is
it-
this in now?
Yeah, this is it.
This-
Everybody, this is
Picked
all
up,
out there.
Picked
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Dave, from Dave's point. Yeah.
Dave loved being a model.
It was fun. It was fun.
Like the amount of
Why are you laughing over there?
Because you were like
this has been
too happy
This
to
has
do
been
this.
like the greatest month of your life. You had the Shrek day, you had White Sox opening day, and then you got to be pampered and have your makeup done and be a model, and you loved every second of it. Like this is
and we got turkeys coming.
the spring of Dave.
I would agree with that.
Like
It's
if
been
the-
a good month.
if the White
Other
Sox
than the fucking hole in my bathtub.
Well, things just have to balance out for you.
The universe does have to balance out.
if the White Sox lose Game 7 in the World Series, we'll just set up a fucking backdrop and we'll get the photo shoot going. We'll put Shrek on the TV and Dave will have a great day. That's all he needs. We found
The
David?
pro model people that were like coaching us up said, like, it was, I don't know if, I couldn't tell if they were fucking with us or not.
They were.
You think so?
think so.
I don't think they really were though.
Well, finish what you were about to say.
Because she, like, every time she would be like, look that way and do this, I would do it. She'd be like, that was actually really good. And it sounded sincere when she was doing
She
it.
was
Oh
very-
no,
not
she had
in, like,
grandma vibes where like your grandma makes all the grandchildren
I
walk around
couldn't-
and be like, oh, they're my favorite.
A
You know,
little
she's
bit
saying
for
nice
sure.
things to everyone to make you feel
A
good.
little bit
She
for sure.
definitely said that to me too, like verbatim.
Yeah, bro. We're just all curmudgeons. We're just not used to people being so nice and
That
like
is true.
encouraging of us.
Yeah.
That
And
is
so when
true.
she was doing that, she was making us feel really good. Like,
Like-
you just people just like discount how good a good compliment goes. You know?
How
And that's
about
what she was
like
doing.
so like the compliments? I was like, I don't believe you, I don't believe you. But then when they would like, so they would take the picture and they would take like a half a second or a second to get up onto like this TV screen, this monitor, and when they would react to like,
They sounded sincere.
I was like, oh damn, do I look good?
yeah. Yeah.
Like, let me see that. I've never seen a good picture of me before.
Yeah. And but the funniest part is there's all that. And then like, you know, whenever we get the prints of the photo, whenever
Yeah.
they send it to us and we post them on
Our
Twitter
new-
and whatnot,
our new digitals.
our audience will be sure to tell us that we all suck and everything
Yeah.
like that.
This is the weirdest job for that very reason. People are just fucking mean. The internet's a mean place.
You know what's funny is it is a mean
Peanuts.
place though, but I think it's just different audiences. Like I think I don't know. I'm trying
You're
to think.
supposed to be mean to us. Like
Yeah, like that's kind of like the Barstool.
There's
vibe
a difference
is like-
between
Yeah.
busting balls and being mean and just
there
being
is a difference
complete
between
total
busting balls and
fucking
being
asshole.
mean. Yeah, there is.
Because
But I
there's a
think
lot of
busting
people that are
balls
just
is-
fucking assholes.
if someone's got a burner, you're not busting balls. You're on a burner. You're a weirdo.
Good-
Like I
yeah.
think burners
Yeah.
are just weird in general.
Yeah.
But like I don't have any problem with someone with like a full, you know, like Jacob, who's a salesperson, coming in and being like, "You suck." It's like okay, that's kind of funny, but
Yeah.
I've over the course of time, and it's gotten to be much, much more frequent. Whenever I get a DM from a burner, it's 9 out of 10 times it's a burner account saying like, you fucking suck, I wish Portnoy would fire you. I'll DM them and be like, meet me at Declan's on Friday and say it to my face. And they're like, oh, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm not going to do anything, but I want to see you say it to my face. I want to see if you will do something. I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to challenge you to a fight.
Dude, you're a maniac.
I don't like violence.
What is wrong with you?
Don't be a pussy and say it to my face. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Will they ever do that? No.
Hey,
But
I don't
it's
want to.
easy to be a fucking tough guy behind a keyboard.
Dave.
Fucking cunts.
I will say though about that whole factor, like, yeah, people are like fucking terrible to us and mean to us sometimes. But if like I ever got into like a public internet fight with somebody from another publication, all those people that spend all their time shitting on me would immediately like.
It's a weird dynamic.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a good example of who is like a positive fan base.
But
You know.
I as much as we do say there are people that shit on us, but for like one
Totally,
person that's mean, there
totally,
are
yeah.
so many nice people.
It
out
is
there.
like weighted though. It's just human nature to be like to kind of.
It's like
fixate
a
on the
Yelp
neg-
review. Like you don't see positive Yelp
See,
reviews.
I
You
feel,
always, you
I,
know.
I will see like negative comments, but then like I kind of have the opposite thing with the DMs of you. Like people like DM me all the time about our
Yeah,
dog.
people
Oh, I
want
get-
more
yeah,
positive.
yeah.
People like
I get that.
genuinely like sincere either questions or nice comments
For
or
sure.
compliments. Yeah, like wait, like probably I don't know 50-1, but I remember the one.
Not to get too deep into it, but the like every now and then, this is very deep, but like, oh hey, I just got done with the cancer treatment. You don't understand how much you guys have helped me like get through these tough times. Like those comments mean the absolute fucking world to me, and it negates all the shitty ones that we get. But like people are just assholes on the internet.
What are you laughing about, Tom?
Go ahead, Tom. Laugh at the cancer.
It's not,
Why you calling me out?
because I saw you smile.
Dave's gonna go to
I wanted
Declan's one
to-
Friday,
I
and
wanted
Tom's
to-
gonna be sitting there. Tom's gonna go, it's me behind her.
exactly.
I want to just thank Dave for his service. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, listen, get you a man who can do both. A guy
You
who
guys
can,
have gotten
a guy who
DMs
can
with me.
bring cancer patients up, and a guy who will fight you at
You guys
Declan's over. Get you a man.
I
who
did
can
with
do
Dave.
both.
I'm
Did you
with Dave.
listen
I'm
to
with
a
Dave.
word I said?
I
or
am with David.
potatoes
I am
growing
know.
in your
I
ear?
know.
I
was-
stand with White Sox Dave.
I didn't
know.
say I'm challenging people to a
I
fight.
know.
I'm putting the
I know.
ball in their court
I know.
to
I'm
grow
kidding.
balls.
I know.
And if you're gonna shit talk on the internet, shit talk in person, because
I know.
that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
And then if you're lucky, he'll get into a gut punch off with you over it.
No, that guy actually that guy.
Yeah, you
said it
like
to my
that guy.
face,
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it.
Right.
So, it just seems like now there's an opportunity for more of this. Like you will go to Declan's.
Yeah,
on
you're
Friday.
opening up. Well, here's the thing too. The beauty of White Sox Dave is like, there's a chance like your sink breaks that day and you won't even show up either. And it's like, hey man, sorry, you know.
Maybe
You know, I did want to say this about
the caulking on my sink. It's a little fuzzy right now.
Is it?
It's fuzzy to the point.
no.
It's not like bad enough where I will do something about it like I should, but I know I'm gonna let it go, and then all of a sudden, like my sink is
It's gonna be a problem. Tom,
yeah,
can you get over
it's
to
gonna
his
be a
place
problem.
and get a little tour and point out the flaws?
Oh, yeah, can we do that?
We could do a Cribs episode.
Fuck yeah.
Have you been there, Tom?
No, not yet.
That'll be Dave's like third Cribs episode, I think.
It's the best. Yeah.
There's one at the office. There's one at home.
Yeah. Ukrainian village.
No, I was gonna say this about the photo shoot. Hold on, I would have liked that. I just would have liked the heads up that one of us would have gone shirtless. I would have shaved my back.
I haven't given my
They can edit that out in post.
Yeah.
That was
would-
like a very. They can. I was like.
I feel like we'll
I
be
could have
able
used
to-
like an email where it was like, "Hey, if you guys have bad hair issues, speaking of which,
fix it.
do we have a Manscaped ad?"
We do not.
Fuck.
We do not.
Give him a free ad if you want. I
That's
give
it.
my
I thought
back
we had
a
perfect
nice
opportunity
whacking.
for him.
About
what?
this time, I whack it.
What's a whacking?
I was using a different verb than shaving. I'll just I'll hit it once a year around this time.
I knew what you meant. Don't worry. The
Thank
guy's
you.
a moron.
You would call it whacking it?
No.
I just threw a word out there.
Well, I didn't.
Have you ever gone to
Dave.
school? Use context clues. What do you think? I'm
Well,
talking
Dave,
about?
I understand that you're doing some type of hair removal to your back, but yes, I would have been surprised if you said whacking and you meant waxing, and you're going to get
didn't.
your back waxed.
He's a fucking
That's what I was
madman.
looking at for clarification.
He's a madman.
Madman.
Sorry.
This is the most off the rails episode. We got people like Tom, our producer.
Well, everyone's like delirious.
laughing at
It was a
cancer
late night.
jokes.
Like it was. We just had to
Not cancer
perform.
jokes, but like laughing at people having cancer. We have Chief not using context clues. We got Carl over there eating
Fig
candy of
Newtons.
some Fig Newtons.
Milanos.
Those are actually very good.
No, they're not.
Never have.
Whoa.
No, they're not.
Whoa. A dark chocolate Milano?
I don't like
Have you
dark
ever had
chocolate.
Brussels or Genevas from Pepperidge Farms?
Yeah, no. Brussels are clearly the number one category number one cookie from
Very
Pepperidge.
good. Yeah, I don't know. Photo
Look at
shoot.
Cheetos coming
What's
back.
what do we got? Any sports?
We got lots of sports.
Bulls
Ed.
play tonight.
They do.
I watched start to finish that Bulls game. First time I've done that in a while. Not a basketball guy. They played like dog shit and should have won, which I think is a
But can't
good
you
sign.
argue that the Bucks played like dog shit too, and they still won? Right? I mean,
For
that's
sure.
just
Yeah.
like if you're
Yes.
gonna play devil's
Yeah,
advocate,
yeah.
God damn it,
Definitely.
right? Though, like that was what everyone
Down
was
1-0.
saying.
All hands on deck, boys. Down
I-
1-0.
See, like I think the Bulls missed like more open shots. Like that
DeMar
would be.
DeRozan played
He was
horrifically.
atrocious in that game.
Was he
Yeah.
6 of 19 or 6 of
Oh
25?
no, 6-24, I think it was.
Yeah, 6 of
Yeah.
25.
So
They were just clunky, man.
yeah.
Like it just looked clunky.
Shout out Brian Knights who put the outline together here, but he had DeMar, Zach, and Vooch went a combined 21 for 71 and 4 of 22 from 3. Like that's
Can't win with
can't
that.
win that way. So I I thought the defense was a little bit better, and I thought what was the spread in that game? Like people are talking about them as like they have no shot, and they were competitive.
Well, that
So,
was their biggest takeaway. Was I saw DeRozan and Donovan were like, "Hey, we were still happy with our defense." So I
Yeah.
mean, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Down low, it was just
it's
for a
tough.
lot
Yeah.
of the game. It was just a massacre.
Well, and it's like how often are you going to have Giannis in foul trouble like that too, and not be able to take advantage? Like that felt like the one. I hope I'm wrong, but that did feel like the one up there to steal. Like they had that. I would be surprised they have that good of a chance tonight.
Hey, what about that Levine 3 at the end of the game? Comes streaming down the court. And Ed, you talked about it at the beginning of the year. It wasn't a good shot. They didn't need a 3 to tie. And he just comes down and rifles it off. But I do like the idea of getting the 2 for 1 there, getting the shot off with like 30 seconds in. But I thought then they'd play for a stop.
Even Billy Donovan said he didn't hate that shot. Like it's like, hey, he got to his spot. He had an open look. Like we want Zach to take that shot. So for whatever that's worth, yeah, like I agree with you. But he didn't hate. Like even Billy Donovan didn't hate.
Sure,
that
Billy
look.
Donovan's also not going to say to the press like I hated the shot.
He could be a little bit more cryptic though. Like, hey, like yeah, well, like next time we want to do something a little bit different. But he was like, no, like he was pretty like adamant about it.
We
in
need
postgame.
Zach Levine for sure to score 30 fucking points a game for us.
All right, I have a
Dave, will you watch
I
the
have a
game
take.
tonight?
Yeah, I'll watch it tonight. It'll be on during commercial breaks for the White Sox, but it will be on. So a lot of our discussion surrounding the Bulls over the last year or so is whether or not Zach LaVine's going to get a supermax or be extended, whatever you guys want to call it. Watching him, like I was watching that game with a microscope because we had bets going into playoffs, blah blah blah. Watching him, like I always thought, I was like, holy fuck, that guy's an athlete, that guy's a freak, like lock him up for life. Watching him and then like drive the lane and get swatted a few times, and then watching Giannis, it's night and fucking day.
Yeah,
like I
cool.
understand now why like you need a player like that. It took one game for me to realize like you need a guy like that to win.
Well, Dave, I think the
I mean,
counter
obviously
argument
that's-
would be there's never been a player like Giannis.
of course.
Yeah,
Probably the best player in the league.
But Dave's point being like we don't
understand.
have like
They don't have
we don't
that.
have the guy that
Not
rises
even-
to that level. Like even if it's
Yes.
not Giannis, like mixing Embiid,
Exactly,
Doncic,
exactly.
Jokic,
Yes.
like there's guys around the league.
Because
Durant,
when
obviously.
they got to Rosen, I'm like, this team's gonna be really good. Like, and I'm very very
No.
public about not being a basketball guy.
That
but
wasn't
like,
a thing.
I always thought, I'm like, this team's gonna be fucking awesome. That's me thinking, not
Yeah, no,
how I
that was
should
like,
be thinking.
People thought we'd be better.
Yeah.
but like nobody thought DeRozan would be this good.
They've definitely outperformed, even as a 7 seed that lost in the first game.
Yeah.
Six, I mean.
6 seed.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
like it is. I understand where people are coming from now. Like you got to get one of those kind of players. Obviously, Giannis is the best in the world. He's the example I'm using. But it's like, holy shit, that guy's a fucking freak.
I feel like the only team in recent memory that hasn't won a title or that has won a title without one of the very best players, those Pistons. Like
20 years ago.
Yeah,
like early 2000s. Yeah.
they beat the Lakers, and they had a run of like 5 years where they're in the conference finals, like I think every year. And I think if the Bulls were fully healthy, with Lonzo being fully healthy, a full year of development for Patrick Williams, that they would have an opportunity. They're different stylistically, obviously. Those Pistons teams were just so defensive, but I think that they could play a good enough team game because they have so many guys who can make shots and make plays that they would be able to keep it closer and have a legitimate shot. But with guys banged up the whole second half of the year, they're not in rhythm and they don't have all their weapons. So I would be interested to see what they look like next year if they're able to stay fully healthy and if they could be thought of as a team that can make a real run.
I think I hate talking about the future already when we're still in the middle of a playoff series. I have thoughts.
I think the writing's on the wall.
But I think
for this series.
if they lose tonight, they're
done.
They're dead, right?
Yeah. Like I expect them to get one at home.
I think everyone they expect to win Game 3 at home. Crowd will be juiced up, and then
Yeah.
Well, all the more reason to get tonight.
Yeah, and the Bucks are really good, man. They won the fucking title.
Right.
Like it's not even so much a slight against the Bulls. It's just the Bucks are really fucking good.
I just feel like they have Giannis, and then they just have a bunch of really smart, savvy, good, solid players. And
they assembled a good roster.
Yeah.
It's
A perfect complementary
roster.
I hated seeing Bobby Portis do well. I hated it.
But it's
for no reason. I just didn't like it.
It's like him and
I didn't
Middleton
mind,
and Pat Connaughton. They just have those guys are gamers. They're very competitive. They're a great team.
They really are good. They're they're fun to watch, man. That's talking basketball.
They are the defending champs. Are very good. That's talking basketball with White Sox Dave.
Where can people go get tickets if they want to grab tickets to Game 3?
Game Time, man.
Game Time.
The Game Time app is awesome. You guys got to get on the Game Time app.
Tell us about it.
Talk to me, Chief.
It's another, you got to download the app and you have everything right there for you. So last minute tickets, you decide, hey, it's a beautiful night. I'm going to head over to Wrigley. I'm going to walk over. Game Time app. Hey, last minute, I want to get tickets to this Game 3. This is the game they're going to win at home. First Bulls home playoff game in a while. Game Time app. Game Time app is the app for tickets and can't recommend them enough. I've used them. I've been using them. So have you used them yet? You used it for opening day.
Sure did.
Yeah.
$20 off with my first purchase. Now I will not be getting $20 off because I'll be using them regularly. But if you have not used Game Time yet, just download the app, start an account, create a login, all that good stuff, and enter the redeeming code RLR for Redline Radio for $20 off your first purchase. That's free tickets for April weather in Chicago for a baseball game.
Go to a White Sox game.
Cubs game, you can get them. That's
go to a couple Cubs games.
Honestly, you could for both the White Sox and Cubs right now. You could.
Yeah, all the guys stayed they stayed across the street when they stayed at the Dozen.
Zachary,
Oh yeah. I saw Frank the Tank checked out Wrigley.
Yeah, and they all said they just hopped on the Game Time app and they were able to get cheap tickets. So
yeah,
it's awesome.
$6, I think he said.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Great time. Great time. Staying competitive here. What else is going on, boys?
Well, let's stay in Wrigley.
Yeah,
let's stay in Wrigley.
We're good. We're not too bad. Seiya Abo. Anybody?
Dude.
He is the number 1 ranked player in baseball through 11 games.
He's a stud, man.
And Wilson Contreras called him the best player he's ever played with.
I was just going to bring up that quote. So let me get it here. He's the best player I've ever played with, to be honest. His plate discipline is insane. Everything he does on the field, the way he takes care of himself on and off the field is amazing. So quite, for a guy who won a World Series with Javi, KB, and Rizzo, to say that this guy after a week and a half or whatever is the best player he's ever played with is quite the compliment.
Yeah.
Quite the statement.
Yeah, he's great.
When
coverage,
he signed,
9 strikeouts, 9 walks. He's been on base all 10 games.
When he signed, I pulled up, or not when he signed, but prior to him, when he got posted, I should say, I was like, who's this guy? Because he was at the top of all the free agent lists and all that. I was like, the thing that stuck out to me the most about him was his sheer athleticism. That guy is a fucking athlete.
Yeah, he takes care of himself.
Athlete, man.
Uh-huh.
He should be playing, not should be, but without question could play center field. No
They
problem.
thought he would be a center fielder, but it actually works. But he's like it's kind of similar to when Jason Hayward, when they got Jason Hayward, they're like, Jason Hayward would be a really good center fielder, but Jason Hayward's the best right fielder. Right. So I don't know if Seiya is the best right fielder, but the difference in him and he's so much better at right field that it's like more advantageous to have him in right field. Now he comes from, what I like about this guy is for 6 years in a row, he was on the all Japan baseball team. He made the all outfield team. So it's like their combination of Silver Slugger, Gold. It's like the team of the year. So 6 years in a row, and the team he's on isn't even fucking good. Yeah. So he's just like smashing balls. I don't know if it was in Hiroshima or something, but he's just like smashing balls, gets a chance to get out of there. He should have been posted. I'm surprised now that I've seen him play with how good he is, with how cheap he was, that he did not cost more money.
Seems like a guy the White Sox should have been all over.
I mean, like, no joke though. It's
Honestly,
crazy to me that the Cubs got him and the White Sox didn't.
It seems like he would be the perfect guy.
And the guys around the clubhouse like him.
He's
playing every day. But you know what? Maybe he doesn't flex and work as well with the White Sox because you got so many other personalities. I like the mix we have with the Cubs. I do. And the offense is good. As of yesterday, they had the number one offense in baseball by metrics of batting average and on-base percentage, on-base plus slugging. And they did have the 4 games in Colorado, but there were also 4 games at home against the Milwaukee Brewers, who are widely considered to have one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. So I know it's early, but like you see a lot of stuff here that's actually great. Last year they scored, I think, 48 runs, or
the lineup's like sneaky exciting.
Yeah.
Like I look at that. I was like, I'm excited to watch these guys go through the order.
Frazier hitting 8, Schwindel looks good. Dude. Wisdom's 8 for his last 13 with 5 extra base hits.
I was watching him the other day. He hit a bomb, and this was in the straight into the teeth of the wind, and I think it would have probably hit one of the houses on Waveland. If the wind wasn't piping in.
And it was cool because I think through the first 20 at bats of the season, he was 1 for 20 with like 11 or 12 strikeouts. He looked like absolute shit. But he's the type of guy who like just has to get his timing down. You have a short spring training, but he's also a guy who fits the same narrative of like, okay, well, hopefully this guy doesn't suck this year because like he came out of nowhere last year. So it's just fun through like the first 20 at bats. You're like, oh God, like don't do it to me, Patrick. And no, it's just like a little timing thing. You see, he still got it. And then Frank Schwindel looks great. They're getting a mix here, so you're not seeing Hayward every day. That's that experiment of just like every day, the punishment of having him.
Can I ask you this, Carl? Is you see what obviously with Seiya and the Cubs? A lot of people were pretty down on their analytics and their advanced scouting departments. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Were they kind of working something else behind the table, like that people weren't so aware of? Because it seems like things are like. There's a path now, in my opinion.
Okay, yes, there is a much clearer path. Like, remember, not too long ago, where like Stroman's contract's a perfect example of like how clear is that path? Do they want to trade him at the deadline because he's got a friendly deal? But no, with Seiya there is a path, and with the front office, I'm very surprised with the Seiya thing. In signing him in the first place, Fangraphs had wrote a detailed article that projected them towards the bottom third of major league teams that could go out and get him. They said there was probably around a 5% chance they'd get him. And if they got him, then it would increase the Cubs' playoff percentage chances from around 5 to about 10%. These are like their projections to Fangraphs. So then that thus gave them like a marginalized like value of like a 6% return on getting Seiya.
That's a crazy number.
That put him in the bottom.
Yeah.
So at the top of it, though, was like, I don't know if it was like the Phillies or if it's like the Giants, but there are some other teams at the top where it's like he would move the needle 20%. So the Cubs definitely were not in on this at all. Like, we'll just say they were not in it. Relative to other major league teams, too, it didn't fit compared to some other people. Definitely the White Sox slam dunk. He's fucking sweet. Isn't it sweet to have like a dude that no one really knew about, too? I mean, that's kind of the cool part is like, I feel like anybody could have him.
Yeah.
There's just something exciting about a Japanese baseball player too.
It looks better, right?
Yeah, it's I don't know. There's like mysterious. Like
and he's like the sexy guy right now though. Is there anyone else here who is like really like impressed you?
I just like the grind of Nick Madrigal, and I've been on his dick forever, and that's fine. I'll stay on it.
Thanks.
I know White Sox Dave hates his guts. And I've been obviously Ian Happ too. Ian Happ got hit in the hand. He's a little bruised up, but Ian Happ's a fucking G, dude. He's got a swing that hit like 40 bombs. He's got a fucking attitude. He's got a big league attitude. And if you can match that up with some consistent success, I think like Ian Happ could. I'm not even joking when I say this. I think Ian Happ could just be like one of those guys at the end of the year, like, holy fuck, how much money is this guy going to get paid when he hits free agency? Mm-hmm. That's a bold take.
That is a bold take because he's just historically never been able to really put it all together, right?
But he has those months where it's like, dude,
Yeah.
he hit 450 at 500. He can put together like the best months of any baseball player. I shouldn't say any. Him, Schwarber, Soriano. Soriano put together the best 10-game stretch you ever seen in your goddamn life, kids.
Insane.
You've never seen anybody go 4 for 5
insane.
6 days in a row.
He was like the sales guy who like hit his metrics in the first quarter and then was on cruise control the rest of the way.
I think
How about Smiley?
yeah, do you like him?
I kind of do.
Yeah, he's
I
a
kinda
name that's
do.
been around the big leagues for a while. I think that they went after Drew. I think Drew Smiley was on payroll a couple of years ago, and they like paid him to
remember
rehab
that,
his
yeah.
elbow. He's like he like owes us a favor.
Yeah.
We gave Drew Smiley like a 2-year contract, and he
Yeah.
got like Tommy John like the day he like signing the contract. It was a bad pen. He signed. So that was like a 2-year, $10 million
Seiya
deal.
Suzuki is walking at a fucking 28% clip.
Yeah, it's
through
crazy.
43 plate appearances.
He
That
spits
is-
on stuff, man. Go watch his at bat with Corbin Burns. I'm not even joking. This is like a directive. If you are a big Cubs fan, you want to understand. Go watch.
baseball fan. This is my favorite
All
shit.
right, go watch Seiya Suzuki walk against Corbin Burns,
Who doesn't walk?
in the first game of the season. It's a 6-pitch walk, and he's just spitting on cutter after cutter after cutter. That's
Probably
96 miles
about
an hour.
3 centimeters off the dish.
I mean, honestly, they're strikes. I
Yeah.
don't know how the umpire didn't call him. So
But
he he doesn't even flinch.
I was watching which is like my new favorite hobby.
You like
I was
Drew-
watching Frank the Tank watch the Mets yesterday, and it went into extra innings. I think they had a doubleheader too, and he was bitching about players swinging at those pitches off the plate. And I was trying to explain to him, like, Frank, you don't realize how difficult it is for a projectile to be traveling at you 95 miles an hour, and then just take a fucking left-hand turn in the last like millisecond of the pitch's flight to the plate, like. That is so difficult to lay off of. It takes people like I'm watching Luis Robert, who's in a little bit. He's struggled the last couple games, but blossomed into this just beautiful, beautiful approach of a baseball player or of a hitter. And like Seiya Suzuki's already got it locked down.
Yeah.
It is.
And
it
he
takes
hasn't seen
years.
these guys either.
No,
He, like,
that's the thing.
It's not like he's even going in there and being like, okay, I can expect. He's going in there being like, I expect nothing. I'm just
Now,
gonna react.
Japanese pitching is a lot different than American pitching.
Speaking of which, have you seen the guy throw back-to-back perfect games?
He got yanked in the second one. He
I
didn't
know,
throw
so-
it.
Did you see that?
No.
There's a Japanese pitcher who's like 20 years old who threw 17 straight
And he got yanked
perfect
in the
innings.
for like pitch count or
And
something.
he struck out. He throws like 106 miles an hour with a splitty.
That's
like
what they-
20-year-old
but yeah,
guy or something.
they
So
don't-
he'll be the next guy that's supposed to. But back to Cubs.
For
Gyro
Japanese
ball.
pitching, they don't do a ton. They don't put a lot of spin on the ball. It's more vertical movement than horizontal movement. So he hasn't seen like cutters and slides. I mean, obviously they throw those pitches, but it's more fastball splitty.
Right. Corbin Burns is throwing 40% cutters. He hasn't seen
Exactly. He hasn't seen that shit ever in his life, and he's just fucking spitting on it. It's really cool to watch as a baseball fan. Like,
that. It's good to hit on some of
Guys
these guys. Hit
never
on
go their
Seiya,
entire
hit on
career.
Drew Smiley. You know, Justin Steele seems to be pretty good. It's good mix. This Keegan Thompson guy
Yeah,
keeps
he's
putting
good.
together these like 3+ inning saves. Have you seen this guy? They just put
He's
him in the
good.
5th inning. He pitches the rest of the game.
Wow.
You see that in college.
Yeah.
That's like a thing they'll do on Friday night or something in college. But you do not see that. You haven't seen that in the big leagues in like fucking 30 years. So it's a good time to be around. If they can hang on and keep battling like this, dude, we just get us to June and let the crowd kind of get, they win in June there.
Now I hate to bring it down a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But
You like to do it. You don't hate it.
no, I just like
actually-
to. I just like to look at everything, right? And like a big part of why we couldn't trade a lot of those guys for their proper value, or maybe it was the proper values because they were at the lowest point. Like, are you like against getting rid of Wilson, or do you think like you'd rather extend him?
So
this
they
point?
couldn't trade him. I would not extend Wilson Contreras.
he's 30 already.
Yeah, I wouldn't extend him. I would like maybe lie to him about extending him if I was the GM. If we're being honest. They could have traded him this offseason, which I wouldn't have minded. I mean, he's playing very well right now.
Yeah.
but like you would have gotten a decent return. It seems like they didn't. It seems like obviously teams weren't willing to give up what the Cubs wanted. You can't trade a catcher at the deadline, so it sucks.
It's difficult. Yeah,
You really got to be fucked up. You remember when the Cubs got Jason Kendall?
Yeah.
He was like coming off bad shoulder, fucking wonky knee. Like he wasn't. That wasn't like we were trading for Jason Kendall, 1996 All-Star.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just using that as an example for Cubs fans. I love the Jason Kendall one.
Remember that year everyone was crying for Pudge?
That would have been sick.
It was like, oh, we need that's the missing piece. We
They
need
traded
Pudge.
Piazza at the deadline. Remember, Piazza got traded from the Dodgers to the Mets,
Yeah.
to the Marlins, back to the Mets. That was a wild time. No, I'm fine with Wilson Contreras. We're fine. Ride this out. This is the
Okay.
one season. It's not 2015, but I hope it's better than 2014, where you just get this one season, you ride it out, and then just like make some more decisions afterwards. But I love Seiya Suzuki. He seems fucking great, huh? What else?
Nah,
I mean, it's enough, right? It's enough for you and it's enough for like you and the boys to go to the fucking
Big
game.
time. Yeah, I'm gonna
Totally.
be at Wrigley all summer.
Oh,
Totally.
Yeah.
Cubs White Sox next week
Yeah.
I hate that.
or
man.
2 weeks.
That's I get why they have to do it. I think we've gotten into an argument about this, me and Chief. With the balanced leagues now, you have to. There's always going to be an interleague game.
Yeah.
Every series, there's going to be an interleague instead of just packaging it into like 2 weeks like they used to or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would just do it on the 4th of July. Figure out a way to do it because that was my favorite fucking time of year. Dead in the heat. I love 4th of July, the holiday.
Yeah.
And you always had Cubs White Sox packaged like right around the 4th of July. Now it's like early May.
What was our argument?
You couldn't this was years ago. You couldn't understand why they had to do it. And I'm like, because if you have balanced leagues, that means you have to have an off day on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and teams just won't do that because that's their major gate days. And couldn't grasp that.
I still don't. Well,
I don't. I
Okay.
forget the exact
well,
argument.
I
It
do
doesn't
think
matter.
that they should have like a scheduled matrix where, like, I don't think anybody cares about interleague between like Braves and Red Sox. You know, like no one really fucking cares. So I think that you could schedule it where it's like, we're gonna make it a weekend in the summer. We're not just gonna like
what
randomly.
I do
have
like
it.
they're doing starting next year, I believe, is you're going to play every team in the league throughout the course of the year.
Well, I know why. If I'm the Cubs and White Sox, here's why I wouldn't do it. I would say give me a Tuesday, Wednesday. I want it because it's like
because you're
those
gonna
are
sell
the-
those other games
Yeah.
anyways.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now here I do have. There's something for Dave I'm interested in to a little bit away from this. Is like a big baseball conversation, but before this question for White Sox Dave is sponsored by who?
Sponsored by TaylorMade Golf.
Ooh, excellent. I love TaylorMade Golf. You guys trying to improve precision, accuracy, driving, distance. Dave, you love how forgiving their irons are.
They couldn't be more forgiving.
And what do you think of their
I'm
shaft?
not going to lie. I don't know what you mean by that. So
So
for
like,
the new
okay, yeah,
novice
so-
golf fan like me, explain to me.
All right, so you're standing over the ball, everything's stationary.
Mm-hmm.
You're just looking at this club head, and obviously the point is you want to hit what part of the club? The sweet spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so like the forgiveness is, it's hard to repeat the swing. It's a bigger sweet spot necessarily. So if you hit it on the toe,
Okay.
it doesn't just fucking scoot away.
Okay. I
And
got you.
TaylorMade has really mastered the technology that allows you, as an improving golfer, to lower your scores and play with confidence.
What's cool is too that's they're doing an ultimate giveaway here. They're teaming up with our it's TaylorMade. For the ultimate season opener sweepstakes, they're giving away 50 prizes to 50 different winners. Prizes include everything from a grand prize of a full bag of new TaylorMade clubs to a new stealth driver to TP 5X golf balls and everything in between. Now through May 10th, go to TaylorMadeGolf.com/Barstool Sweeps to enter and celebrate the season's first major and the unofficial start of golf season. The Sweeps is running across a number of podcasts within the Barstool Network, and we want our loyal followers to win. So head over to TaylorMadeGolf.com/Barstool Sweeps right now for your chance to win, and be sure to let them know you heard about it from us. Make this golf season better and fill your bag with the best. Of course, that's TaylorMade. One more time, go to TaylorMadeGolf.com/Barstool Sweeps right now for your chance to win big.
So
Yesterday-
here's the question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, so this is really interesting. I think this is just like not just baseball specific, but kind of league specific. We talk a lot in baseball about service time manipulation. All right, so there's 4 guys that are up that are considered like the top prospects. The window is past now where you can like start to bring guys up and then like you can
Doesn't
fuck with their
count,
window. We're starting to get to that.
We're getting.
Bobby Witt Jr. is hitting 139. Julio Rodriguez from Seattle's hitting 143. San Diego's CJ Abrams hitting 115. And Philly's Bryson Stott's hitting 133. Thoughts, David?
I mean, my thoughts are very clear on this. I think that teams should be very incentivized to win games instead of the opposite, which is what it has been over the last decade or so. You're basically, if you're not the best, you're incentivized to be the worst. And I hate that. I wish every team on earth would be trying their damnedest to put the best team forward possible. That means signing the most expensive players. There should be 30 people competing, or 30 teams competing for the Bryce Harpers and Garrett Coles and whoever else of the world. It's not like that. And on a more baseball specific level, these teams should be incentivized to get their best prospects into their major league teams, rosters, 26-mans, as soon as possible, just assuming that they're ready to compete at that level. This is just gonna be like this is gonna be their excuse, and it drives me crazy. Like, CJ Abrams is a fucking stud. I followed him all throughout his draft prospect, all that prior to when he got drafted. Loved him coming out of high school. Bobby Witt Jr., he's a freak. He's got the bloodlines. His dad played pro ball and everything. Like, they're just going to use these numbers in the first couple of weeks of the year to be like, we should have kept him down and got that 7th year. Fuck that. I hate that.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it.
It's awful. These slash lines are going to be the slash lines that like influence.
Does it matter when they get called up? Like, can they send them down now and just be like, we're going to hold you down for, because is it games played or on the calendar?
It's calendar. That's
okay.
So I want to. So to become a free agent, you have to accrue 6 years of service time. 6 years of service time is 1 year of service time, I believe, is 175 days. Take away or add a day, it's right around 175 days, but that's also the off days baked in. I think every team gets 13 off days throughout the course of the 162 game schedule. So it's 162 games plus those 13 days. That's what that 175 number is what equals 1 year.
Okay.
So if you keep them down 13 days from game 1 of the season, that 14th day you will get they'll only have like 5.9 years of service time.
Yeah.
And then you get the 7th year.
They roll it over.
Then it rolls over. Yep. Exactly. It's stupid. I fucking hate it.
Yeah. Would you think it should be games played?
Well, they changed it a little bit. So now I want to say whoever's listening can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's the top 3 in Rookie of the Year voting. Mm-hmm. They automatically get granted a service year.
That's a good rule.
That's a good rule. Mm-hmm. There's obviously the pre-arbitration pool numbers. Like, it's getting better. It's still not good though, as far as being incentivized to put forth the best team possible.
Yeah.
So as we get going, is there anybody in the White Sox that you see that you would want to have called up or sent down, or like what adjustments are you making to the roster, Dave?
I mean, at this point, they should be just looking to add the best players via free agency. They didn't do that. Carlos Rodon has 2 starts so far and is just fucking dominating. White Sox fans still think that he was hurt at the end of last year. There's a difference between running out of gas and being hurt. They are 2 completely different universes. Yeah. And he's pitching today on Wednesday. We're recording this. He's pitching tonight. I hope he wins the Cy Young so I can rub their faces in that like a dog that just took a shit in a living room carpet. I will never let them hear the end of that.
That's intense.
And it's not, but like, and people were getting on me like they're not looking at it correctly either. They think that Kopech, who I love still, he's been great so far. He's gonna be even better moving forward. They think that Kopech was the replacement. Kopech wasn't the replacement for Carlos Rodon. Kendall Graveman was the replacement for Carlos Rodon. They're penny pinching. It's 100% a penny pinching move. You got Michael Kopech, who's making, I don't know, $1 million or whatever. Graveman, who's making like $8 million. Instead of paying Carlos Rodon, it would have been either $18 million, or you take him back at the $22 million the Giants gave him. What are we doing? Who did you ask me about on the ride here today? That's starting for the White Sox in Game 2 of the doubleheader tonight.
I can't even remember his name.
That's the point.
Yeah, Gilbert.
It's Kyle Lambert.
Lambert.
Or Jimmy Lambert. I'm sorry. I had to think about his name first. Jimmy Lambert. He's completely fine depth, but it's the second week of the fucking season.
What do you think about? Okay,
What is he doing?
Carlos Rodon's a better fit for the Giants because he's good for the 162 to help them. Like you guys didn't necessarily need Carlos Rodon for the 162.
But okay, you had Kendall Gossman or Kevin Gossman. I always call him Kendall. I don't know why. Kevin Gossman. I'm hungover right now, so excuse me. Kevin Gossman. You had Robbie Ray,
Excused.
who the White Sox absolutely shit on a couple days ago. That doesn't matter. I don't care.
You don't like him.
Nah, he's whatever. But the point is they replaced a top 5 Cy Young guy and a guy who's fucking healthy and dominating right now with a reliever. And now
But Dylan Cease is going to win the Cy Young this year.
Dylan Cease is great. This is a team with World Series aspirations. They fucked up badly. And I don't want to dwell on it because I don't think that, or I don't know that there's a better team in the American League of once fully healthy. But it's like, go for the jugular, man. And I don't want to just carry this on and bitch about their offseason all fucking summer. I'm not going to do that.
Sucks.
This will probably be the last time I speak about it. It just makes me fucking
No
sick.
chance.
Makes me sick. And I mean, they are going to have to trade for somebody by July, by the deadline. So we'll see what happens. Like the fact that Jimmy Lambert is getting meaningful tick right now. What are we doing, man? What are we doing?
Yeah, because I mean, there is some sense where it does matter. Each of these games do matter. You can't tell me that you guys are trying to win a World Series and Jimmy Lambert's like taking them out for you guys.
Exactly.
Jimmy Lambert wouldn't take them out for like 20 other fucking teams in this league.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
There's this one Yankees fan I argue with all the time on Twitter, and I actually like this guy because like we just go back and forth, but he knows how to argue. Like I got a couple Cubs fans that I do that with too, just shooting the shit baseball wise. And I think the Yankees are there's not a team in the American League that isn't heavily flawed, including the White Sox. But at the same time, like the White Sox might be the least flawed of the heavily flawed teams. So we'll see.
But they could have had a super team.
They could have had a super team. They had a chance to be, bar none, unquestionably the best team in the American League. And money was the reason that they weren't. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to hear about their fucking top 5 payroll, top 7, whatever it is, their highest payroll. I don't want to hear that. Nobody on the planet wants to hear about money being the issue for why you're not going after the best players when you have World Series aspirations and your team is in a top 3 market in the country.
Yeah.
Fuck off with that. That's my White Sox take. Luis Robert struggling a little bit. He's up right now. Pissed on the ball to short.
Give us a live play-by-play.
Actually, that was TA right there.
What's it count?
It was Tim Anderson. I think that was the first pitch of the game. He loves hacking at, and I love when he does that. I'm not gonna go and spit Shane Bieber is, who scares the shit out of me for the White Sox because they just don't hit right-handed pitching well, especially big fastballs like his. But without going all sabermetric nerd on everybody. And a lot of White Sox fans have already seen this. The White Sox expected BAs compared to what their actual batting averages are. It's like their expected batting average has been like 330 as a club, and it's actually like 220 as a club or something right now. I have never seen a team through like a 10-game stretch just absolutely shit on the ball like they have right at people.
I've been on the wrong end of that many times.
Gambling
on them, like, betting overs.
Tim Anderson, he had a home run robbed the other day. It was an actual robbery, not one of the fake robberies. The announcers go crazy over. The ball was over the fence and it was robbed against Tampa. Abreu has just pulverized the baseball, and it always finds a glove.
He's awesome,
dude.
He's fucking
because
awesome.
he's gonna. This is his last year of his deal. They're gonna sign him to another 2-year deal. Like, don't be pissed about it. Jose Abreu's awesome. I don't care how old he is. He's just as consistent.
You got to get that guy a World Series. You got to get that guy a World Series, a statue. He's fucking so good.
He's awesome. I love him. I mean, it does kind of fuck over roster construction a little bit because then you're forced to play non-outfielders in the outfield like Vaughn and Sheets and shit. But
should have drafted Vaughn then.
Send
over
Vaughn down.
No,
I'm kidding. I just Ken WO.
He's a moron. I love Ken WO. I was fucking dragging him on Twitter the other day.
You guys were going back and forth for a while. What was it about, Ed?
I think it was about that they should send him down and give something about at bats with Gavin Sheets. People were in a flurry. People like day to day. Some of the complaints are interesting.
White Sox Twitter and lineup management is
fascinating.
But like,
vigilant.
here's the thing. I've noticed. So I follow a lot of Yankees fans now, a lot of Cubs fans. It's not as big for the Cubs right now because they're in a little bit of a rebuild. A lot of fans from across baseball, and fans bitching about lineup construction is not specific to the White Sox, like I thought it was in years past. Like, I'm not one to typically care about the lineup, but when you have Lurie Garcia hitting 6th and Andrew Vaughn, who has this awesome pedigree of an offensive player, hitting 9th, and you are up, and Lurie Garcia comes up in the 7th or 8th inning with runners on because of the lineup construction, like, that is warranted. You can't have that. I don't understand Tony La Russa's hard on that he has for Lurie Garcia.
Hey, speaking of hard-ons, how do you like the Reese McGuire?
Well, lasting longer, and I have a question about lasting longer for you. But can we talk about lasting longer in bed first?
Yeah, I want to last longer in bed all the time.
But maybe that's why Reese McGuire was, going to Pound Town on himself in the parking lot. Do you know that story yet?
It's a Roman ad read.
I know.
Yeah, well, let's do Roman. Let's talk about Roman.
We need to hook him up with Roman because he probably had a date that night and, needed to get the nerves out,
clear the pipes.
Yeah, clear the pipes a little bit, like in Something About Mary.
I remember being so horny you'd have to clear the pipes. There's no way I'm running it back twice. That's why I use Roman. That's why I do the swipe discreet. Yep. I actually have a wallet that's just filled with Roman swipes. I one time tried to see how many swipes can I put in my wallet. I've got so many, and I still forget about it, Dave.
Do you got a George Costanza wallet?
I don't. I actually fucking lost my wallet this weekend.
You probably don't even understand that reference, which is fine.
I do get it. I got a backup cash, very flat. And the discretion is what I like about Roman.
Go to GetRoman.com/redline to get $10 off when you choose a monthly plan. That's GetRoman.com/redline. One more time, GetRoman.com/redline.
Good trivia show.
Lasting longer. What'd you think of Kershaw?
Come on. I mean, come on.
Takes from you guys.
Come on. What are you talking about? This game is atrocious. Clayton Kershaw, everybody's just playing for the 162. Nobody cares about these moments. Clayton Kershaw doesn't have a perfect game. 220,000 baseball games played before.
23 perfect games.
You would like to see Clayton Kershaw just stand on the mound and just be like, no fucking way. I'm at 80 pitches. I don't give a fuck what you said. I don't care about a short spring training. I'll take the next 2 starts off. I've won a World Series. Who
between
gives a fuck?
80 pitches and 100 pitches.
Just get the last 6 outs of the fucking game. What are you doing? Why do you want to go put on your tennis shoes and throw in a fucking dip? I don't get that. I do not get it. And Dave Roberts, it's only happened one other time before, is Dave Roberts with Rich Hill 6 fucking years ago. It's crazy.
Dave Roberts does not give a fuck.
Dave Roberts doesn't give a fuck, and that's actually the type of guy you got to be to manage in baseball today. Is you got to be able to drown out the noise from bozos like me.
Did I ever tell you about Dave Roberts' story?
Probably, but
no, that's not really a story. When I was out in Arizona for winter a couple years ago, Northwestern was playing University of Nebraska Omaha, not Lincoln, Omaha, at Camelback Ranch, like an hour or two after the Sox just got done playing there. And White Sox share a spring training complex with the Dodgers, and so I stuck around because I know Coach Dusty and everything, who we did the spider tag video with last year. And I was shooting shit with a couple of players, and Dave Roberts pops up, and I just sat next to Dave Roberts for a couple of innings.
No
awesome
way.
Dude. Yeah,
Undersized.
super small,
unassuming,
probably
speed,
I would say an inch or two taller than me.
What did Uke say, or what did Millar say? We knew he was running. Rivera knew he was running. Posada knew he was running. He still took the bag. Yep.
But Dave Roberts.
Oh, sorry, Tom. I forgot.
World
Tom
Series champion, multiple World Series, right?
Ed, do you?
tough sitch.
I think it's I don't know, but at the same time, we're already moved on. We're already getting out of it. The Dodgers are a fucking wagon though.
The Dodgers are
holy.
And the Mets are very good too. I've said this time and time again. You should.
God bless you.
Ownerships should act like the Dodgers and now the Mets owners act. That is how owners should all act. They should say, "Oh, that stud's available. Max Scherzer's available. Sure, I'll pay him $40 million.
You gotta stop watching other baseball. You have to you can't. We have to
people need to people they're brainwashed by owners, dude. These guys are savvy. They know what they're doing.
They also control like a lot of the media in town too.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Not you, Dave.
They
Not
need
compromised.
to all be competing for the best of the best. That goes from the Milwaukee Brewers, Cincinnati Reds, all the way up through the large markets and mid markets.
This is the other thing that always kind of drives me crazy about this. And I was talking to one of the hockey guy about this recently. But like they have like you said, Dave, they had several years where they don't have like any payroll.
Yeah.
Right.
They were 29th out of 30.
Right. So
2017.
they're making like, but I feel like owners are always looking at it like their team is somehow like a stock price. Like they have to have like a quarterly earnings review where it's like, oh, our stock price is going to like, no, like you have like a 20, like Reinsdorf is older, but it's his kid, but you have like 20 years to be making money off of this and they all make money. So if your margins or your profit margin isn't like so great one year because you're going for it, well, can't you look at that as like customer acquisition? Like we're gonna go for it. We're gonna spend because we're gonna have a great product and we're gonna get people who are younger hooked on our team, and we're gonna have them like we're a fucking cigarette company for the next 60 years. So to me, it's just it does seem like owners are way more short-sighted with how they manage their money than they should be.
I couldn't agree more. You said
because this window with the White Sox is going to end, and
absolutely,
they're going to crater.
We saw with the Cubs,
yeah,
how quick those windows do close.
Right. So then it's like you're going to strip it all down. You're going to have another low payroll.
Exactly.
So you might as well like strike when you can, and then you'll make that money back and with the lower payroll in the future.
So with the nationalized and socialized TV budgets or TV deals they have, I don't know why I said budgets. TV deals they have. Each team is handed $100 million a year. Mm-hmm. That's their starting point. The Oakland Athletics, until they traded Sean Manaea, I don't know what it is now. Their highest paid player this season was $9.75 million. They traded him, so now it's even lower than that. That's inexcusable. Their payroll is like $35 million.
Yeah,
it was $35 million. I think I read in '99. And these guys are making money hand over fist.
Yeah.
And don't let them tell you otherwise. Do not let them tell you otherwise. Oh, we couldn't afford it. Yes, you can. Every team could afford Max Scherzer at $40 million a year. Garrett Cole at $36 million a year. It's inexcusable how these teams operate. Outside, Steve Cohen, I know he's shady and did all the SEC, whatever fucking shit he did, and the Dodgers. The Yankees are acting like they're not. I mean, we saw Bryce Harper was on Smitty's podcast a week or two ago, and Bryce Harper said the Yankees never even talked to him.
Oh, they had Stanton though.
So we'll see. I mean, I want you to get over this stuff. You got a baseball season, David.
I know, and one that could end in a World Series.
It's impossible.
You get a doubleheader here, Dave.
It is.
Yeah, and did you just?
It's as impossible as you ever like seeing eye to eye with Stan Bowman.
I can't. I've been going on Rampage this week. I can't get over the summer of 2015. Like I can't get over it. And then the summer of 2017.
This was a
can't get over
historically good free agent offseason, and the White Sox signed. And they did make the trade for Pollock, yes, who has played 4 or 5 at bats so far. He's injury prone, but I did in the end like the trade. Nevertheless, they punted on all these superstars that would have put them the clear-cut number 1 team in the American League.
What's next? Illini, Blackhawks. What do we got?
I mean, the Hawks are
Foley's last game.
Yeah,
I watched it.
Yeah, it was a nice ceremony, and
a lot of good cut-ins.
Yeah, a lot. Cool. It was nice. It was whatever. It's like this is going to be painful. So it's like I watched. I still watch every game, but it's not enjoyable. And so I guess the only thing you're looking for is like maybe some little twinkling stars of these young guys where you're trying to hope. And I guess like Regula has looked a little bit better in defense. Vlasic, I've liked him better than I anticipated. He's 6'6", defenseman, like not overly skilled, but he like maybe he needs to spend more time with Cal Dahan. Like just make a simple, easy play. I wish he was a little bit meaner at 6'6". We haven't seen much of that, but like it's just about like, man, can we find a couple of guys to stitch together to, that maybe are NHL players out of these prospects, and that's really all you're looking at. And then you're just waiting for the meltdown time until Dave's shaking his head watching the White Sox.
Two batters and 2 errors.
Are you matter about them, or are you matter about your tub?
The tub will get fixed.
And that's in your control. You'll spend to fix it.
I will.
Yeah. So
what about former Blackhawks in Stanley Cup? Anybody be making some moves, Panarin, or do I got to keep my eye on somebody in a little
the Rangers are fucking awesome. Like they've gotten so much better since the deadline that they look like a real team now. They I know Tom sitting over there?
We just let Tom walk out. As soon as Tom walked out of the room, now we're doing the
good. The Rangers, I don't hate that as a future. Obviously, they have Panarin. They have a guy who I was banging the table. Please draft him. Condre Miller is an absolute stud, 6'4" kid from Wisconsin, 200 pounds.
And rack him up.
And
fuck you.
So yeah, it's just the Rangers are good. There's a lot the Hawks have players everywhere. Taravainen, Ryan Hartman, Minnesota. Literally Florida has 6 guys. Basically, it feels like they got Duclair, they got Forsling, they got a lot
good guy Ryan Hartman.
Good guy Ryan Hartman raised $30,000. So Ryan Hartman, donated to Children's Hospital after he gave Evander Kane the finger and got the fine. And then did you see that story?
Yeah.
So that was great. Hartman's gonna come on in here in the summer.
Talk some honey.
Yeah, he's doing a hunting trip with us.
Oh, good shit.
He's already committed to that. So yeah, so it's I'm just ready for this season. The regular season just has to end. If I could go into
how many games left?
9, 10.
Jesus.
So it's it's another 3 weeks. Or no, this regular season ends right at the end of April.
I thought NHL playoffs and MLB or NBA playoffs were always
usually the NHL starts first. So usually they're still getting back on the pre-COVID calendar. So they're last season ended later. This one it started a little bit later. So and then they had the whole thing with the Olympics too, where they were supposed to take all of February off. So that kind of they had a built-in extension this year. Gotcha. So next year the playoffs always start right around April 10th, 15th, something like that. And then this year it's May 2nd. So yeah, I'm excited to watch playoff hockey, but I wish somebody could just medically induce a coma for me the rest of the way.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
Is it difference
nice. Austin Power style?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cryo.
Yep. Does that work?
I don't think so.
That'd be kind of fun though.
To die of hypothermia?
Well, Cartman did it in a South Park episode and went, I think it was 500 years in the future because he couldn't wait for the Wii to come out.
I watched a show the other day with No Free Ads with 3Chi about this guy just talking about how traveling into the future is actually possible, and it was
I've told you guys how it is
it's supposed to be possible.
It is. Yeah,
if you travel fast enough outside
speed of light.
Yeah, past the speed of light,
so you can be gone
rotation. So
so you're gone for a year and you come back and it's 500 years later. Something the math is off, but that's
it's very easy to explain in layman's terms. I woke up on this was years and years and years ago. I was in high school, I want to say. I woke up in the middle of the night on the couch. I was watching something on Discovery or History or whatever it was. Is that 3 fucking errors in a row?
All right, you just want to
the end. So imagine you're on the Metro coming from Naperville to Chicago, and the train, just to put it at an even number, is traveling 50 miles an hour.
Are we doing theoretical physics right now?
We are.
Okay.
And you get up and you start walking towards the front of the train as it's moving. You're technically going 50.3 miles an hour or whatever. Mm-hmm. You're traveling faster than the train is. So physically, we know that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. But if you could build a train that traveled at the speed of light, and you started walking forward to the front of the train, you would be traveling faster than the speed of light, and physics would have to balance itself out. So you would be traveling into the future while everything outside it is in present time.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So you get off the train and it's the year 2024 instead of tomorrow or whatever it is. Make sense?
Did that make sense? I got it. I got it. So we're just whatever. I marginally made it through the first half hour of Inception.
I couldn't do it.
That's a tough one. And I won't do Tenet. I won't even start Tenet.
What was the McConaughey one where he was traveling through?
Now that I do Interstellar.
Interstellar.
That's actually that's a great movie for today.
I haven't seen Interstellar. Inception was fine.
The whole thing is just like, well, I'm going to go into the future. That's what Interstellar is.
They had to go find planets, Dave.
Yeah.
Because the Earth was dying, so they sent astronauts to go find good planets.
On the flip side, I have seen this before too. Black hole. I forget exactly how this one's more difficult to describe, but a black hole, time goes slower, so you're traveling back in time.
Well, the gravity is just,
yeah.
Or maybe.
I don't know.
No one's ever,
I'm
nothing's
not
ever come out of
entirely sure.
They also think it could be like a wormhole to like blast through to like a whole other section of the universe that would be inaccessible to us otherwise.
That's part of Interstellar.
It
A
is.
wormhole.
And then there's also one that's at the center of our galaxy. So like theoretically, a black hole could just eat up our whole galaxy.
Would you go
someday.
through a wormhole, Ed? They go, Joey Diaz is going to a wormhole.
Yeah, I'm in.
You're going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You put Ed in the shuttle.
Yeah,
Can we hook you up with some like ecstasy
sure.
with Joey
Whatever
Diaz?
you want to do to me. I'm your lab rat. As long as you let me watch you in a cave for
And talk to your dad.
let me talk to your dad and let me watch you in a cave and watch you have a couple.
And Ed
will
go to
say-
outer space.
I will say I haven't done anything with this, but several people have sent me your dad's address. Several.
Let me see.
I'll have to dig through my DMs
I've
to
been,
grab them.
I've been to your dad's house before.
Same.
It's, I mean, very not difficult to get to.
I know I could get there from one particular spot, but now I just have his address.
Is a completely normal
I don't know that you have his
looking
address.
house.
I do. I guarantee.
Well,
it.
I don't care that
I'll
you
have
do.
to go back and find
Yeah.
it. But
If you guys are watching on YouTube right now, we're pulling it up.
we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to.
The
start-
only person like I'm trying to figure out. None of my asshole friends would do that because they just don't give a shit enough. My sister wouldn't. I don't know
Send
how.
it to you?
Yeah,
Good to see Pat at the tailgate.
So
he would he
that
doesn't
would
give
be-
a fuck enough to do that.
That would be quite the dog walk if we just did like a pen pal thing with your dad, and then like Ed just like over a course of like 3
Is that
months.
allowed?
3 months, and then Ed just reads the letters back and forth.
Handwritten correspondence with William Williams.
I think they're probably fucking with you.
I don't think so. I looked at him. It was the same address every time, and I pulled it up.
Someone
like
sent it to me too, but
like
I just
Goog-
disregarded it.
Google Earth, and it was
I
like
didn't look into it.
that's your dad's house.
Okay, maybe.
a little creepy there.
Very.
That
Very.
is fucking weird.
Yeah, I think
It is
that's
weird.
a heavily overlooked part of all this interaction. That's extremely creepy. Don't do that.
Yeah,
let
and my
Mr.
dad,
William
in
Williams
all
live in
honesty,
peace.
if he found this out, like he would be fucking furious. He's
Yeah.
like, please stop doing
beat the
that.
shit out of you. He's going to be
would.
standing there Friday morning with at Declan's with Dave.
He would be irate if he heard this conversation. So please drop it. I'm like actually being sincere.
All
Don't
right.
get me in trouble.
It's
with my dad.
dropped.
What else we got?
I think that's it, unless you
That's
want to
it.
eulogize Kofi and we'll
Yeah.
wrap.
Oh, thanks. You, Kofi, one of the
Googly
all-time
eyes.
great big guys in college basketball in my lifetime. Obviously, loved watching him wear the orange and blue. He was there for some very successful years. Over his last 3 years at Illinois, nobody won more Big Ten games than Illinois. He's part of hopefully what Brad Underwood's building, which will last for the better part of another decade, I hope, until he hands it over to his son Tyler, and then it's just an Underwood fucking gangbang on that campus for the next 50 years of my life, and they're awesome. But until we get to that point,
He's doing a fucking awesome job at that
thank you,
program. man.
Kofi. Kofi's
They
at
just
Red
had a-
Lion right now, having a couple drinks, having a good time, hanging out with the boys. Probably gonna go. I've
They
heard
just
some
had
things
a big
about
commit.
that guy.
Who? What's his name?
Good time. Sky Clark.
Not him.
Buddy?
Someone else. Like 2 days ago. Not
Yeah.
Sky Clark. That's a huge commit.
Yeah.
More
Are they in the
complimentary-
2024 one? A point guard,
Yes.
a small, undersized guy who's awesome.
Yes, I saw that too. He's doing work over there. Good for him.
Yeah, we like Brad Underwood. He's a huge fan of Barstool Chicago too.
Good guy.
And so we got to figure out if anybody wants to go down, take some charges with them, maybe eat some red meat, get coached up. I'd like to see him. Like if you want, I'm gonna go down and get yelled at. That's it. All gas.
No breaks.
And stop making fucking errors and DJ play that shit. Oh, great. Awesome.